going to be traumatic for most of you, but try and bear with us.
Only Gen 5ers. So we are actually the foundation for the preservation of Gen 1 Pokemon, and we are here to present our thesis. We have a panel, why Gen 5 is not Pokemon. Or Gen 1, a critique of the creatures introduced in the 5th generation of Pokemon video games.
Alternatively titled, Make Pokemon Great Again. Which is a little scarier now. That bottle was delicious.
It really was.
Was it safe for colors?
Well, I'm white now. So, first we're gonna play a game. This is this a Pokemon?
We have to test your knowledge
before
we get into details.
I call him Claude the manservant.
We don't
carries
care.
me everywhere.
Okay, you have some fetishes that we
He
don't.
carries me everywhere.
I don't care.
Machamp is my favorite
carries you
Pokemon
so
variety, Gen
silently.
7 as well. It's great.
It's easy.
Please, nobody swipe right on me.
Nobody swipe right.
Just don't swipe on him. Okay.
Swipe or no swiping?
So, how this works is if you believe it's a Pokemon, you will raise your hand.
Or don't.
Or don't.
That works too.
If you think it's not a Pokemon, you leave your hand down. And if you think that voting is for sheeple, you're probably some kind of free thinker, you wrote in your Bernie, the hallway is for free thinkers. Is this a Pokemon?
No. Okay. Is this a Pokemon?
Sorry, what was your question?
Which hand?
Either.
We
Doesn't
don't
matter.
care.
Both if you want. Voting twice is
Actually,
allowed.
you have to raise your foot.
Okay.
Okay.
This man is high energy.
Okay. So, you're
a
all
manservant.
right. That is a Pokemon.
Obviously.
Is this a Pokemon?
Oh my god. We have
Okay, you need to leave. That's way too many limbs to raise.
We can't speak this creature's name because this isn't a 16-up panel, so we're not allowed to swear.
It's Girder thing.
Girder thing.
Don't say that. No, there are children here. Like you. Okay. Is this a Pokemon?
That's a scarf.
It's actually a tube saw.
And it's actually illegal to own this Pokemon if you live in the state of California. So
You gave away the answer. It is a Pokemon.
But of course, yeah.
Next.
Pokemon, they're your friends.
Is this a Pokemon?
Is this a Pokemon?
Food on Food Riders are all Pokemon.
You're right.
We got a lot of people on this, but this is actually a Generation 9 Pokemon. It's been leaked 2 generations in advance. It's kind of strange they're working on Gen 9 for Gen 8, but you know, it's how
Did
it
you guys
goes.
forget about it in there?
Huh?
Forget about it?
No, we just have Shrimp Stumpura.
Oh, forget about it though.
Finally, is this a
Looks like Magneto to me.
You're wrong. That is Embor.
Which is a Gen 5.
That is a Taurus.
Okay.
So, we did a poll to ask which of these were Pokemon and which were not. We pulled a few more. Unfortunately, we pulled our Pokemon, which is full of low-energy cucks. So they seem to think everything that isn't Shrimp Stumpura, Mochi, and Bladethor Gawamon are Pokemon.
they got this partially right because the Digimon and the Monster Ranchers are not Pokemon, so that's correct.
Good job.
Good job.
Wrong though.
Yeah.
A little bit.
However, we played with the data a bit, because you know, you get poll results in, you have to mess with them, play with the populations
Massage
a
the
bit.
data a little bit, you know?
So this is the real result. As you can see, we have Conkeldurr, Clang Clang, and Embor.
Don't say those. This isn't
I don't
16
care
up.
anymore.
So
Stop.
they have now actually gone into negative percentages. See, when you work in statistics, you have to weight your results based on the demographics of your survey respondents, how many people are idiots, and with proper weighting, you might sometimes end up with negative percentages of people.
I majored
Which
in
works.
statistics. This is real.
My condolences.
No, I liked it. So, we have,
So OSHA has recently declared Generation 5 Pokemon to be a workplace safety hazard, so we had to implement a lot of safety precautions in order to not get this panel shut down before it happened. So here's just a rundown of how we tried to keep ourselves safe while researching all we needed for this panel.
option 1, don't. Unfortunately, we hate ourselves, so we couldn't do that.
I actually love myself, but you could be a 5-year-old and, you know, this is the first time you're ever exposed to the franchise, and it's all a wonderful new world to you, and so you mistakenly think that 5th Gen is actually Pokemon, but you just don't know better yet. So, you know, it's one of those things you'll grow out of over time. Other options, you could use Smogon, because Smogon never actually uses the word Pokemon when talking about Pokemon.
Which is very important if, like us, you want to physically vomit whenever you read the words Pokemon in conjunction with anything from Generation 5.
You can take off your nostalgia goggles and approach Gen 5 with new eyes. Of course, we're kidding. That's impossible. Or you can use a word replacer. This is Trubbish. It's an abomination. It evolves in Garbodor starting at level 36.
It's very important. When you're tired of Abomination, you can set up the word replacer to replace it with Trash Heap. This is Villainous, which is an ice-type Trash Heap. No, we didn't use Trash Heap for the previous one because we figured that's kind of doubling up on the garbage jokes, and we're tasteful here, so... Villainous is a Trash Heap.
Cling Clang's a dumpster fire. From Bulbapedia, the community-driven dumpster fire encyclopedia.
I'm okay with that.
Good. And then finally,
And this is not even actually from Gen 5. This is, I believe, a reject from My Little Pony. This is a brony. And we would like to ask if there are any bronies in the room. We need you to step into the hallway. There's some gentlemen in suits. They're from the FBI. They need your name, your address, and your internet browsing history.
Jesus Christ. That's the
So here we've got how to spot your average Gen 5er. Because maybe you don't know the warning signs. Maybe some of your friends are actually Gen 5ers and you don't even know it. So first of all, they think that you know what is a Pokemon, which is wrong.
Blatantly false.
Is from Gen 5. It is not a Pokemon. They frequent and may even be a moderator on are the Red Pill.
keep it that way.
Yeah. Most of Reddit should never be explored.
It's best if you don't know.
They probably, I actually fact-checked this before we did it. Definitely vape. So they are trash.
I don't care.
We hate vapors. They like Nickelback and have said, quote, Nickelback is a great Canadian band, end quote.
But their song albums are great.
Still uses Hotmail. Actual Hotmail address is something year of birth at hotmail.com, and is a freelance programmer, i.e. unemployed living on couches.
We actually have a picture of him, right?
Yes.
This is... he couldn't find a couch here, so he's just on the floor.
He's very minimalistic. He keeps all of his possessions in Nickelback CD cases.
Along with his vape. He can't live without his vape.
So first we're going to cover the mechanics of Gen 5. Basically, the abominations are going to be min-max reskins of existing Pokemon, things you grew up with and enjoyed as a child.
But now they're
general
bad.
issues with power creep, and of course, firefighting type.
We don't need to say anything else about that. I think we're good to go. So, probably the first prominent example of a min-max reskin present in Gen 5 is comparing Golem with...
Not Golem.
I think other Golem, I guess.
Don't say that.
This is a pattern you're going to see a lot. If you're comparing Golem and other Golem stats, you'll see that essentially other Golem stats are better where they matter and worse where they don't. Golem's highest stat is its defense at 130, and this is other Golem's second highest stat. So other Golem has higher attack, higher defense, higher special attack, higher HP. So as a bulky physical attacker, it's bulkier and a better physical attacker than Golem. It's slower, but Golem's already about as slow as a golf cart with 4 flat tires, so that doesn't particularly matter in competitive circles. And, I mean, I guess Golem is ground type because it's cool, but they're both 3rd stage rock type Pokemon that evolve via trading, so.
Alright, next we have deer Pokemon and other deer thing. And so really, they just cut deer Pokemon's special attack because it's a physical anyway, and then boosted all the other stats. And also added a grass type and a unique move.
Didn't they just like make it more sleek?
Huh?
And
Same
fix the
Pokemon.
tail?
No,
That's
no,
literally the same
it's
Pokemon,
just
then. That's
Deer
like
Pokemon
sleek.
Part 2 Electric Boogaloo.
And it's strictly better.
Not
Did we
yet.
say you were allowed to talk? No, I don't think we did.
I think you
He's
did.
allowed to talk.
Oh,
For now.
We have a question from the audience. Are we taking questions?
No.
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 No? Okay. We'll take
If you
questions when
shout
we feel
it,
like
we
it.
might.
Okay.
Well, I was out there talking to the guys with the suits, but they weren't there.
Oh. Why
well,
did you come back?
I thought you'd be indefinitely detained by now.
I'll call him later. Just
Okay.
stick around after the panel.
Okay.
Anyway, as we pointed to at the beginning of this panel, we're also going to compare Machamp and Girder Thing. And similarly to Golem, we have a 3rd stage pure fighting type Pokemon that evolves via trading. That is essentially it's essentially a carbon copy, except its stat spread is essentially strictly better. Its HP is higher, its attack is higher, its defense is higher, its special defense is slightly lower, but that's made up for by the higher HP, and it's slower, but who cares? Again, flat tire golf cart.
Hey, I think Machamp has 1 unflat wheel.
That's fair. Machamp also has a higher special attack stat, so if you feel like running a Choice Specs Fire Blast build, God bless your heart. You're crazy.
Okay, we're just gonna skip that. So what we did was we pulled some people. This time we used our friends Crunchyroll, like Facebook,
No, it's just private.
Twitter, I don't care, whatever. We pulled not our Pokemon, that's the point. And we got a much more correct response. Who likes Conkeldurr or Machamp more? 71% of people understood the question, and 29% are illiterate. Which is odd, because he works for a subbing company. You'd think they could read.
Welcome to America.
What do they, like, how do they watch the anime if they can't read it?
See, what part of the question said, by the way, I can't read?
The selection of Conkeldurr as your favorite.
Clearly didn't understand the question.
Okay.
So, just real quickly, we're going to go over a few examples of just general power creep present in Generation 5. We've got a handful of Pokemon which have
Abominations.
abominations. My apologies, I slipped up. With pretty min-max stat spreads, you have, I think it's dark red ugly thing on the right. Has a base stat total of around 400 and something, and a third of that goes into a ridiculous attack stat of 140, which is higher than Dragonite's. And probably has the biggest discrepancy between an attack and special attack stat of anything I can think of, except maybe Mega Beedrill, but that was because they were trying to make Mega Beedrill something people might want to use, so...
I mean, V-Drill is awesome though.
Oh my god.
What are you gonna do? Did we say you were allowed in here?
I think I have PTSD. I don't know if I can continue this anymore.
Does someone have bleach?
Not the anime. The beverage.
Okay.
Alright.
So next we're gonna go into. Yes.
I just want to say, isn't Darmanitan slow and fire type, so it's validated with that high attack?
Fire
No.
type has 5 resistances now, actually. That's yeah.
The point is, it's min-max.
It's min-max.
Where they do something with a low overall base stat total and pump it and give it an extremely high stat in all that really matters.
Also, 95 speed with a choice scarf, that thing's gonna hit you with a flare blitz like a truck. So,
Moving on, speaking of fire types, it's a good segue. We're going to go into the whole firefighting issue. This is Embor. That's Hariyama, right?
That's
Hariyama.
Okay,
are you
sorry.
sure it's not Embor?
It's a sumo wrestler Pokemon. Embor's a
Oh wait,
sumo
that's
wrestler.
that's the thing right there. Embor's not a Pokemon. That's how we can
You're
tell
right,
them
okay.
apart.
That's not even Gen 5, that's Gen 3.
Yeah, no, we like him.
We tolerate him.
The he messed up and Googled Pokemon when looking for an image of Embor, and that was the problem. So we're gonna try again.
Embor.
Blaze again.
We got the
firefighting?
typing right.
We're closer. Here's a firefighting.
It's a mammal.
Yeah.
That's not Embor.
You think it's the next slide?
I
bet it's the
I
next
bet it's the next slide.
Jinx.
That's for tonight. I'm not sure why that's here.
Max, how did that get here?
I don't know. You made the slideshow.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
So
Is this Embor?
That is Embor.
Okay,
I
good.
think that's Toru.
So,
I thought it was Roadhog.
you know, of course, Gen 1, you ended up having Fire and Flying, which is great combos because we love Dargans, even when you, some reason, don't call them Dargans.
And they're weak to Stealth Rock.
And they're weak to Stealth Rock. But still, Fire Flying, that's great. And we have another issue with Stealth Rock. We had to cut it for time. So then next they do Pure Fire. All right, doing something different. Then you do Firefighting for Gen 3. That's new. We can do something new. Then you do Firefighting again 2 times in a row. Okay, you know, do something once, do it a second time. Then you do Firefighting a 3rd time in a row. It starts to seem a little bit lazy. And then we had the
Fighting.
Psychic.
Okay.
Sorry, we just hit copy paste. I thought it was fine.
Fire Psychic.
We didn't have time to delete it, so we just scribbled it out.
The furries love that one, by the way. I think he's great.
So, could you actually go back out? The men in suits might be there now. Okay, thanks.
And then Gen 7 gave us Fire Dope.
No, they
Fire-
gave us
Fire
firefighting.
No, that is John Cena and it is beautiful.
That is firefighting.
John
my friend.
Cena and beauty.
Have you hit it with a psychic attack?
Da,
You
da, da,
don't
da.
know.
If you have never hit it with a psychic move, you don't know. Don't believe what Game Freak says. Do the experiment
I've
yourself.
done it myself.
Just look at the artwork.
Why would you do that? They say it's dark. You're a bad player.
He is the heel. He will do anything to win.
I mean,
I love his smirk though when he does the Z move.
so we polled people on their favorite secondary type for a fire starter. The good news is enough people were right. Flying is the correct answer. Some people like psychic. Here's the interesting thing.
Why don't you?
Gen 3 fighting did pretty well. Gen 2 fighting not so much. Sorry, Gen 4. Gen 5 fighting got absolutely no votes. Meaning everyone agrees Embor is garbage.
And they can understand the question.
The interesting part is probably fighting again. Did pretty well.
Because John Cena always does well.
Is he fighting again?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know.
Good for him. Does it matter? I don't care.
It's John Cena.
I thought he was a movie star now.
He is.
Let's see if we have a John
He's
Cena slide.
everything.
No.
No, we don't.
That's not John Cena.
Okay. Here we're going to go into a little bit about how in Generation 5, the metagame was dominated by dragon types to an extent not seen in previous generations. Here we have a graph of generation number on the x-axis and the percentage of the Smogon OU tier with the dragon type on the y-axis. As you can see, Generation 3 and 4, it's fairly stable, hovering at around 7%. But then in Generation 5, it more than doubles to around 15%, meaning close to 1 in 6 OU Pokemon was dragon type, which probably directly led to the creation of the fairy type, because this obviously needed rating. This is like Gen 1 Psychic type all over again, the whole domination of the metagame. So if anyone here is offended by the fairy type for whatever reason, you can thank Gen 5 for that.
We all knew that was coming.
I like fairy types.
Why are you wearing a black
You don't
dress?
actually have to
You're
go
dead.
see Suit Guys for that opinion. You're fine. Okay.
Another issue present in Generation 5 is something we like to call speed creep. In case you're not aware, the way the speed stat works in Pokemon is whichever Pokemon has a higher speed stat, in most cases, there's a couple exceptions, goes first for attacking. Which means it doesn't matter how much higher your speed is by the other Pokemon, as long as it's higher by 1 point, you're going to attack before them 100% of the time.
For reference, these are all 101, and these are all 100.
You know what all the 101 Pokemon are from? Generation 5. More min-maxing. It's a very cost-effective way to dramatically increase the competitiveness of the Pokemon. And this is a problem unique to Gen 5. It has never happened in Generation 1, not even once.
Okay, maybe only once.
Gyarados does have 81 speed. That's
So now we're going to go into aesthetics. Aesthetic designs of abominations are generally uninspired, especially compared to those of actual Pokemon. Your costume is a very good representation of Gen 5. You did a good job, but Gen 5 is garbage. Like, you did a good job with your source material, I'll give you that. Find better source material, though. So it's just poor, lazy source material. Oh, I went over that. Kind of like this panel.
Yeah, in case you
Yeah,
couldn't tell by
Garbodor.
now.
We'll get to that.
This panel's Garbodor.
Alright, so here we've got a great comparison, alright? We've got pairs of fighting type Pokemon. We've got some from Gen 1, the best generation of Pokemon. And we've got,
Okay, are you sick?
What? Sorry, I had a bad cough.
Either you have the flu and should leave, or have an incorrect opinion and should be played.
Shit.
Is both an option?
Yes.
yes.
We can do both.
I had a
means
flu
we
shot,
got
I'm
time
alright.
So we've got Hitmonchan and Hitmonlee from Gen 1, which are amazing. And then we've got Red Thing and Blue Thing, whose names I don't remember, from Gen 5. So
Saying
Hitmonchan
it's not going to make it
is
real.
actually inspired by Jackie Chan, a hero of Japanese martial arts, seen here starring in his Japanese anime Jackie Chan Adventures, which chronicled his real-life adventures as an archaeologist, preserving ancient artifacts, saving the world from the forces of darkness, and teaching important moral lessons to the young children, because he's a good example.
But
of
one
moral.
more thing!
And
He has a great uncle.
his uncle, we'll get to that. Here's his sidekick, Toru. Join him on his adventures.
I think that's Steve Honda.
And then you had Hitmonlee, inspired by Bruce Lee, seen here beating up noted Mike Huckabee supporter, internet celebrity Chuck Norris. So overall, a pretty good guy. Now, we asked people, who's your favorite character from Jackie Chan Adventures anime? And Immor did not do so well. People picked Uncle, which is the correct answer.
Obviously.
For some reason, Bruce Lee did really well, even though I don't remember him being in the show.
He was in one episode.
Sure.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
say that was it.
Yeah. It's in the opening credits, maybe? Meanwhile, Red Thing and Blue Thing are inspired by... I mean, just look at this. It's a gym sock. This is literally what you peel off of your foot after you're done at the gym.
Wait, I'm supposed to
You
take those
can't
off?
wait
peel?
to get rid of it at the first possible opportunity. Not what I'd call an inspiring source material. Meanwhile, here's the source material for Throw, with guest appearances by Chris Christie, and if you can't tell in the background, there is a cameo by one of the greatest real Pokemon, Missing No.
Which we didn't actually put in, he just showed up in the screenshot.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened. It wasn't just bad paint program work.
So now we have the other low-hanging fruit. Here we have Tentacool, Fat Tentacool, Golbat, Heart Golbat, Clefable, and Clefable Chansey Lovechild.
Can't agree.
No, we call that EXP farm.
Sure.
Sure.
So if you look at, so not only are they very aesthetically similar and appear at similar rates, I guess Adino appears differently from Clavable, but they're the rats of Gen 5. Their stats are relatively similar as well. So it's just, hey, we need another tentacle that does tentacle things.
And there's a ghost type.
That tentacle. Yeah, it's marginally
So
different.
it's better.
Because ghosts are better.
Because they're min-maxing. So we pulled for favorite rodent.
It's a proud tradition in Pokemon games introducing an awful rodent Pokemon in the first route of the game.
Here's the fun thing. Everyone's pretty equal except Patrat, who is terrible. Meaning, the people who took this poll understood that Patrat was an incorrect answer and not a Pokemon.
I'm still disappointed by how relatively poorly Diggersby, though, did as an option.
Even Mime did.
Diggersby,
Yeah, it's Diggersby, though.
Diggersby, though.
That's
Zigzagoon won.
What's the cutest?
I don't care. We've already established your opinions are wrong.
He has
Stop
won me
sharing
many a
them.
contest.
Huh?
Zigzagoon has won me many contests.
Okay, we're just gonna skip ahead. So here are some examples of more Gen 5 garbage, starting with literal garbage. I'm pretty sure those fingers are actually cigarette butts that people put off on him when around him. Because I know personally, if I encountered a Garbodor, I would pick up smoking that instant so I could burn a cigarette on it.
Next, we've got ourselves Kling Klang, which is a set of gears that don't actually do anything, because gears are just a way of transferring energy from a power source to an in source, but this doesn't actually have either of those, so it's completely pointless, does nothing.
Wait a second, but I rolled in mine to my engine not too long ago. It works just fine.
I'm
Just
glad
gotta beat
that
it.
you found a use for a Gen 5 abomination. Hopefully more of them will find practical purposes in the future, though we are not optimistic.
I mean, we made a panel about this,
Yeah.
so that's something.
I guess it's helping our lack of celebrity.
Yeah, and then we've got the ice cream Pokemon.
They're delicious.
I can't remember the order they go in.
I won't eat ice cream anymore because
But-
of that.
But it's so happy.
He doesn't love double scoop. You just cut off its face and you just eat it. It's
No, I'm triggered.
Yeah. So it's simple, right? You should have a scoop, and then you do a double scoop, and then you do a triple scoop, and then Gen 8, it's going to mega into an ice cream sundae.
I'm okay with that.
At least Alexander's
But-
been ready for it.
Alexander, be prepared!
Good, Gen 1 is gonna wreck it.
More power, more spoons.
But the problem is, it's made by somebody who, I guess they don't have ice cream cones in Japan, they don't understand how it works. Because you go 1 scoop, and then you go 2 scoops, and then you go 3 scoops. But they, for some reason, think you do 1 scoop, and then if you want to double it, you do a side-by-side.
You know, there's actually cones that do that.
It's not structurally sound, it's not the right way to do ice cream.
Yeah, that's cool though.
Just wrong.
And then they try to
No, it
drink it
doesn't.
through a straw. How
don't-
does that work? You
We call
can't
that a
drink it through a straw.
I thought that was like chocolate little wafer thing.
It is
Fresh
a
made
straw.
of
Ice,
ice.
it's a straw.
You tied our panel together when we couldn't.
One's smiling and the other one's
Wait,
just
who
like,
said that? Who said it?
This is what vaping will do you.
Okay,
All right.
congratulations, you're an honorary panelist. Stay over there, though. We don't actually want you here.
So for our last piece of low-hanging fruit, we have, I think it's called I don't care what its name is anymore. And this is the point in the Gen 5 design process where they became self-aware enough that all of these were horrible abominations that should never see the light of day, that they went ahead and put it out of its misery before it was born because it's a literal fetus.
In Oklahoma,
You're fighting one.
they would have had to finish that.
But it's a furious fighting fetus.
So I guess next we'll get to Gen 1. No.
Not in the mood right now, Embor. Not in the mood.
Okay.
He looks like he was doing basketball there.
By comparison, here's a couple of examples of Pokemon from Gen 1. Now, I know what you're all thinking right now. Don't even say it.
One's upside down.
You've literally picked the worst examples to defend Generation 1 with? Or did we? To the untrained eye,
No, you didn't.
Voltorb...
Pikachu's not up there.
Well, because we're trying to prove a point here. To the
Pikachu shit,
untrained
though.
eye, Voltorb may look like a lazy cop-out. It's just a Pokeball that they stuck eyes on and called it a day. But it's actually much more clever than that. When you're walking around in the Pokemon games and you see an item on the ground, what does it look like?
An item on the ground.
It's a Pokeball.
Obviously,
What does
we see as
Voltorb
players
look like?
and what the character actually sees are very different.
It's a Pokeball. The treasure parcel, it has the same appearance as the treasure parcels in the game, but wants to blow up in your face and murder you when you try and pick up the item. This is the Pokemon equivalent of a mimic from Dungeons and Dragons or similar fantasy settings. It's a lot more clever than it seems to be at first glance.
It's not Voltorb, it's Electro. When you pick up the Pokeballs, it's Electro. It's not actually Voltorb. It's never been Voltorb. It's always its evolved form.
Would you like to edit the panel right now for us then?
Here, but just take the image and like flip it upside down.
That's too much effort. Just trust us, you're wrong. We're right.
In a
We
similar,
have a panel. You do not.
we have 3 actually.
Hey,
I don't know why they gave us
Panel
those. In a similar vein, Muck gets a lot of trash talk for being a lazy cop-out. It's just a blob. Why is that interesting?
Not spelled backwards.
In Generation 1,
that's a cheap joke. We are above those.
as the first Pokemon generation, they're trying to introduce a lot of the archetypal designs that would set the standard for future Pokemon. That's why you have Pokemon like Charizard as a fire type. Dragons are commonly associated with fire, so it thematically fits. Similarly,
Still not a dragon.
sludge monsters are a very popular form of creature in various forms of fiction. You have the Blob, you have the creature from the Black Lagoon, you have Hedorah from the Godzilla franchise, all sorts of creatures. Take the same form. You have oozes from Dungeons and Dragons.
Andrew? No.
Muck is simply paying homage to this classic form of movie monster, while at the same time serving as an archetypal poison type, because sludge is commonly associated with poison.
And then, of course, we have Mr. Mime, the bad touch Pokemon, who is a tribute to French culture and famous mimes such as the late, great David Bowie.
Too soon.
Never soon enough. So Mr. Mime is great because he actually builds the walls that most mimes just imagine. Because really, the walls are all in your head to begin with anyway.
He doesn't want anyone near him.
Well, walls are a social construct.
Tell Mexico that.
And then we have,
We're gonna skip the Trump joke
defending
aside.
Mr. Mime, the leader of the free world says, quote, Mr. Mime is adorable and
Well, the leader of the free world for like 2 more weeks.
week and a half.
And what?
Anybody have any bleach?
And,
Alright,
Okay.
we've got badges.
and what?
So next we're on badges. Gary obviously bought his off Etsy. He has 10, and like 2 of them are real. One of them being the weighted companion cube badge when he beat GLaDOS. I don't remember her being a gym leader, but why not?
Here we have the badges from Generation 1 as a point of comparison, and similarly to other, like the Pokemon designs in Generation 1, they went fairly simplistic to establish, the archetype. You have, for example, the Boulder badge is a boulder, the Water badge is a water, and the Earth badge is a grass. It's perfect, just 1-to-1 matchup, no complications. It's simple.
Then
What
what's
about the
third
electric
gen
badge?
supposed to be?
It's an electric.
But the rainbow badge.
That's a sun.
It's a rainbow.
It's a rainbow.
So first of all, you can go into.
It's a circular rainbow.
There are a lot of semantics we could go into,
poison
but we're
ball
just going to
hurt?
skip it because it's not worth the time, and instead go straight on to the Gen 5 badges.
Alright.
Here we have the dragon lets you use flamethrower in battle. The dog gives you recover, and the ox lets you use strength outside of combat.
I don't think these are the right badges. I realize I forgot to delete this slide.
Shoot, okay.
Alright, now we have the actual Gen 5 badges. We've got the sun because sunshine is great. We've got a heart because we're all lovey-dovey. And we've got some good, solid Christian symbolism for my
What about the glasses? You're right, these aren't the badges.
Alright. This is it. We've got ourselves the Millennium Eye. We've got the Millennium Eye. We've got the Millennium Onk. We've got the Millennium Falcon. That one lets you make the Kessel run in under 10 parsecs.
I really dropped the ball on this slideshow. I'm really sorry about this.
Earth, water,
Wind,
fire,
heart, shooting our powers combined. We are Embor.
Why is Heart one? Anyone forget that?
Because we didn't get the order right.
It's the most powerful one. They made Hitler good with it.
Okay, so I think. Okay, so I don't think these are the badges either, but I guess we'll go over them.
These
We
have to be wrong.
Toothpick, broken toothpick, and really inefficient toothpick. Maybe Gen 5 didn't have badges.
I guess it did.
Let's just move on.
Okay. So, racism is a serious issue in the 5th generation of Pokemon, and it has never once been a problem in any previous Pokemon designs.
Actually, it's been a problem twice.
Like I said, it has never once been a problem.
So, we're going to start with the white version exclusive. If you notice, she has a nice big flowery hat, a nice skirt, very reminiscent of a southern belle from the, well, like a belle from the antebellum South. Here we have the black version exclusive.
I don't think we need to say anything else. The picture says it all.
And this is Lenora, who is one of the gym leaders. This is the modified American art. This is the original Japanese art.
Gen 5, you done messed up. Let's just move on.
Now, of course, the real important thing is any story of a hero is only as good as the story of its villain. If James Bond has taught me nothing, it's this. And so here we have Spectre. That's not Spectre. Alright, here we have the best evil villain team.
Yeah. So Team Rocket started us out really strong. They commit evil with Pokemon. What is a more obvious villainous goal than that? They run a successful casino, so you know they're business savvy. They took over Silphco, which is the primary employer of Kanto, meaning they can get shit done. And they're basically the closest thing to a government the Kanto region has, which is pretty impressive. Huh?
I thought that was Pokemon.
It's scary.
What did you? Yeah, it's staring at us. You're making this an unsafe space for us.
I'm gonna need therapy after this is over.
Okay, so now we'll move on to some teams of various quality.
Alright, so we have Team Advent Aqua. They're eco-terrorists. Now what's really interesting is that the conflict in this game is really just a giant civil war over landscaping. Some people say we need more land, some people say we need more water, we should put a nice shrub over here, and you're like, I don't want a shrub, I want a fruit tree, I want to have fruit in the summer, but you know, no one listens. And they're each a cartoonish version of what the other one thinks that they are, and they're really a metaphor for political division, and no, let's not make this serious. But they think that Aqua wants more water. Have they seen where they live? They are in Atlantis, home of the most powerful DC superhero, Aquaman.
Okay.
Not a gay fish.
I guess there's Team Galactic. I mean, who cares? Something Doomsday Cult. It's probably based off Heaven's Gate or the People's Temple Agricultural Project or whatever. Who cares? I mean, if you get down to it, in order to create a new universe, you'd have to repackage the existing one back into a singularity. And let's be real, you can't take 36 kilobytes of data and put it back in time. It's just not possible.
We know who their real antagonist is.
It's just not possible.
Is it CERN?
Yeah, it's CERN.
Meanwhile, we've got Team Flare. I was excited for Team Flare when I first saw them. It's like, oh, cool. It's just a more flamboyant version of Team Rocket. It's going to be exciting. And then, oh wait, I'm wrong. They're also a Doomsday Cult. trying to build a laser cannon to create an ideal world by murdering everyone with a laser cannon. Why can't villainous teams just go back?
They just used it.
Why can't villainous teams go back to just stealing Pokemon? Seriously.
I mean, do
Like,
they really need to
for
steal the
real.
Pokemon, though?
Like, this is...
It's him.
It's like the plot of Donkey Kong 64 when King K. Rool decided his perfect world didn't have Harambe in it.
Actually, this is the HD remaster. It's going to come out on Wii U. They're going to charge you $50 for it, and you will love it.
I love DK64.
Okay. Moving on.
We have Team Skull, which is pretty legit. Not that bad, except for the fact that
They don't stop moving.
they are juggalos.
Mr. Juggalo, could you please leave?
Juggalo, homie.
I don't believe in miracles.
How do magnets
No.
work?
No, they're just juggalos.
They're just juggalos, as
In
far as we
fact,
can tell.
we're done with them.
But how do magnets work?
I don't want to ask a scientist.
Okay, so now we have Team Plasma. They're PETA, but somehow more hypocritical, which I guess is okay since the things in Gen 5 aren't Pokemon, so we can abuse them.
Yeah.
They're also Doomsday Cult.
Of course. It's all
What's up with Doomsday Cult
cults
is that all
nowadays.
kids are into these days. Pokemon really deserves better than this. Much better than this. We're gonna make Kanto great again, guys.
Make Kanto great again.
So we asked which team is cooler. A criminal organization winning. People seem to like hypocritical PETA. There's a problem with this poll, as most polls we've taken, so we uncuffed it.
It's much more accurate now.
It's ironic. Rocket has a rocket.
I don't think that's what irony is. That's expected.
So, let's go over Pokemon's imaginary friends, because the lore of any series is going to be critical to the enjoyment of said series. So let's get into the lore of Pokemon, starting with 5th gen.
Alright, so in Pokemon, we have ourselves some kind of platonic unmoved mover, and then we've got like crazy deer Pokemon, and then we've got like the Sliver Queen Pokemon, we've got some dog Pokemon. Really, none of these actually matter. The only ones that matter are the legendary birds Uno, Dos, and Trace.
Quattro Cinco.
Quattro, Cinco, and Seis did not come out, unfortunately. We're waiting for those guys. Here we have a slightly less complicated genealogy. This is the family tree of the Greek gods. So all of the Titans are descended from Chaos, and then Zeus is descended from Kronos, and then everyone else is just Zeus and incest, and then some more incest, and then maybe a human.
Perfectly easy to wrap your mind around.
It's either Chaos or Zeus.
Or incest.
We don't care.
Disgusting children.
Wait.
They keep murdering.
And it's also,
Alright.
another simple one is the Jackie Chan Adventures family tree, where we have an unknown parent giving birth to Shendu, and Shendu with an unnamed spouse who's also possibly a sibling, because we've played far too much Crusader Kings to possibly think of a family tree that doesn't involve incest. Giving birth to famed Jackie Chan antagonist and noted Trump supporter Draco.
I knew he was up to no good.
He's gonna make the talismans great again, folks.
So that leads us into Legendary Bloat. In Gen 1, only 5 of the 151 Pokemon were Legendary. Equates to about 3%. So imagine we're special and you're not.
Well, that's already given.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
But
right?
I think
That's
you mean it in an insulting way.
What?
Absolutely. So that's a good way to do it. You cannot have a party exclusively of legendaries in Gen 1 as it should be. No 10-year-old child should be walking around the power of several gods.
And even then, Mew was special event only, so like most of you weren't even gonna have a Mew unless you like got it with your Game Shark.
Or you found it at the truck.
I used Game Shark.
Game Shark.
Truck was legit.
Then we go into Gen 5. 13 of those abominations are legendary. Could the front 2 rows please stand up?
No, I'm not some shady.
I don't care. Congratulations, you are all special.
Do you
We're
feel
also
special?
and everyone in the back standing up is special. Do you feel special? He does. Good job, but you're not. It's just like any of these
Things.
Yeah. I think this is the point where we run out of material, basically.
It's so
Oh, it's
sad.
floating. I didn't see it.
Imbor is very sad.
Yeah.
So we need to offer some special thanks. We would like to thank Bulbapedia, the community-driven dumpster fire encyclopedia, for providing us with all of our research materials. We couldn't do this without them.
We'd also like to thank MS Paint because I don't know how to use Photoshop, so they made our slideshow possible.
Photoshop is actually a scam by Adobe to make money. MS Paint is free. It's included on all your Microsoft computers. Don't buy Apple.
And as long as you're willing to spend an absurdly long amount of time, you can do whatever you want with Paint.
It
One
works.
pixel at a time.
We've got Smogon for doing their thing. I need to include a special thank you and not thank you to Miles for having shared one poll on his Twitter and then not sharing the next poll on his Twitter. So, thanks, no thanks.
Share our next polls.
And
Otherwise, our data's no fun.
of course, we have to have Nintendo and Game Freak for including actual Pokemon in all subsequent Pokemon games. Now, the last time we did this, Gen 7 was not out, and we were withholding judgment, but this is a world exclusive first. We are declaring Gen 7 is Pokemon.
Yes. You are part of a real team, but you're still a juggalo. We would also like to thank John Rogers, Dwayne Capizzi, and Jeff Klein for creating Jackie Chan Adventures, a truly fine Japanese anime. In fact, we did a poll on it, and 100% of respondents agreed Jackie Chan Adventures is an anime.
Because the only options were
The
yes.
thing is, we couldn't give them a no option because we pulled our Pokemon, and we knew they'd fuck it